Now, I don't normally start videos like this, but I have to make a point. Just very quickly, look at this, right? Release date, Battle Styles, March 19th. That's 2 days ago, right? And then they just come out and give us brand new good cards 2 days later. Guys, can you stop? You're making too many good products. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch and today we're going to be taking a look at Blastoise VMAX. The promo cards are finally out, so let's jump over to PTCGO and see exactly how it's going to work. So Blastoise VMAX, a really cool option if you have managed to pick up your Blastoise Vs from the V Battle decks. You can put this one together, Blastoise VMAX, 330 HP. It's weak to lightning, which means that PikaRom is obviously a bit of a threat, but you know what? Full Blitz for 300 doesn't take a knockout, so I'm not too worried about it. Plus, the fighting cards from Battle Styles are obviously going to make PikaRom see a little bit less play, but we're here to talk about Blastoise. 3 energy, Grand Falls deals 120 damage and accelerates 3 water energy to your benched Pokemon in any way that you like. So as long as you've got 1 powered Blastoise, you have as many powered Blastoises as you like. But the thing that I'm here for is G-Max Bombard deals 220 damage and also deals 30 damage to 2 of your opponent's benched Pokemon. That is incredibly good because it means that you can take a knockout on things like Zacian, pretty much any basic V, Eternatus, that kind of stuff, plus set up knockouts on benched Pokemon V and VMAX so that you can maybe get a knockout down the track. It's kind of expensive, but we can power that up relatively easily with copies of Frosmoth. Ice Dance obviously allows you to put as many water energy from your hand onto your benched water Pokemon as you like. You have a bit of a backup attacker here in Keldeo-GX, just in case those old tag team Pokemon become a little bit too hard to deal with. Plus, Resolute Blade is a really good attack against the Eternatus. If they fill out a bench to try and knock you out, you can return with a very, very easy to power up attacker of your own. The rest of the list is there. If you want to see it, it's down in the description. You can go and copy that into PTCGO. Whilst you're there, like the video. That would be greatly appreciated. Let's jump onto PTCGO. We're on PTCGO. Let's play some games. What I've just lost my mind. One other thing you get with these Blastoise promos are these really cool sleeves. Like, they are genuinely impressive. I hope that the Pokemon Company keeps doing sleeves like these because I actually like them quite a lot. The Venusaur VMAX, which is a video that'll be coming out very, very soon, also has a similar set of sleeves. So just keep that in mind when you're considering what you should be doing. Alright, what do we got down here? Our opponent's attached to an Eternatus and just passed. So we've got a choice to make here. What do we want to do? We can Quick Ball. I think I'm going to get rid of the Frosmoth here to grab ourselves a Blastoise. We're going to discard it anyway. I could have theoretically use the Oranguru to put it on top of the deck, but I would rather play all these cards down than just research. That seems fine. We would have had a boss in the discard if we had have done that. So overall, this is actually an incredibly good start. I am going to put the research on top with Primate Wisdom just in case something goes wrong, and then pass the turn. Next turn, we are looking for energies. That is all we need. We have the comms in hand to find the Frosmoth, to find the VMAX. We've got the VMAX in hand anyway. We can actually get a second VMAX if we want them. And we just need to find some energy, and I'm thinking that the best attack is going to be that VMAX Bombard. If we can get a 1 bucket and an energy, as well as a switch card, we're going to be dealing 220 damage to this Eternatus, plus we can start spreading 60 damage to the bench thanks to the, telescopic lens. It's a real struggle over here a little bit at the moment, but that's okay. Now, Poison Eternatus is a bit of a threat to us, because they can theoretically deal enough poison to create problems. I don't really want to have to worry about it, frankly. If I find myself in a position where my opponent does get themselves a big board of Krogunk set up, then that's going to be a little bit awkward. But we'll see. We will see how it goes. Also, how do you like the weird glow behind me? It's a little bit awkward, isn't it? I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel with that glow, but that's fine. Right. So now we just wait. Our opponent's going to take a knockout. We will have to promote something. I feel like promoting Snom or Oranguru is the right decision, because obviously an air balloon will be the thing that can get us out of the active here. We'll put the Blastoise in play. We will calm away this Dedenne to find ourselves a Frosmoth, and then we're going to be researching. Oh, no, not the Crobat. I want the Frosmoth. Let's get that into play, and then we will be researching to try and find those energies and the switch. The question is, do I want to Primate Wisdom? Probably not. We can just throw that away. We've managed to find Training Court and 2 energies. So let's Ice Dance here. We've got 1, we have 2, we've got a Quick Ball as well, which is fantastic. And since I've not got any energy in the bin, I'll still play the Training Court anyway. Since I've not manually attached yet, what I can do is I can Quick Ball if I want. I think I'll Quick Ball for Dedenne here. This seems actually Crobat, because what I can do is I can stamp and switch. I gotta be thinking here, mate. We can reset stamp them to 4. We can switch into the Blastoise and then Crobat for a full 6. That seems like a pretty good option for me. And all I need to do is find 1 energy, which I have, and we'll be good to go. I can actually power up the Blastoise on the bench here as well if I want to. I will grab another VMAX. Let's get that in play. We can play the Bucket as well. Grab ourselves a couple of extra energies. And because of the Frosmoth, we don't even need to use Grand Falls here. We can just G-Max Bombard for the entire game, which is really, really good for us. It's actually incredibly good. So we've got a whole set of VMAXs powered up on turn 2. That's 7 energy in play on turn 2. We'll put the Quick Ball on top of the deck, because that way we can Quick Ball for a Dedenne next turn. Then we can Max Bombard. We'll put 60 on the Eternatus and 60 on the Crobat. Very, very strong stuff here, and it's going to be almost impossible for our opponent to knock this VMAX out this turn. In fact, I think the most they can do is, what's it going to be? The most that they can do is realistically going to be 320, because they can get the poison from 2 Crogunks into Toxicroaks, so it should be alright. They've gone into their VMAX on the bench. That's fine by me, and attached an energy. If I G-Max Bombard and get another 60 damage onto that VMAX on the bench, then as long as they don't get the crazy triple Toxicroak play, we should be fine. And it looks like they're actually just going to choose to knock out the Crobat. So now this is a little bit concerning. They can take... If they... Oh my god, now I've got a decision to make, because I can Quick Ball here for that Dedenne, but I don't know if I really want to. Let's put the boss on top of the deck. This Marnie is a better option, because now boss doesn't win them the game. They have to have that crazy turn. They have to get off of these 4 cards, alright? This is what our opponent needs to find. We're going to G-Max Bombard, we're going to knock out the active, we're going to put 60 damage on the same 2. What our opponent needs to find off of these 4 cards is energy, Toxicroak, 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 another basic. So if they do that, they win the game. So if they find those 5 cards, they win the game. But I've made it as tough as possible for them to do that. So let's wait and let's watch. Let's see if our opponent does it. There's 1 Toxicroak. They need 3. They need all 3, remember, to get the knockout on this Blastoise. Here's the Rapid Fire Poison. At the moment, they're dealing 30 because of poison. They'll Quick Ball here, probably for Crobat, which is going to be their basic. So that's a pretty good one to have. There's the energy. Do they have a... Oh, they've got Dark City in play as well, so it doesn't even really matter. They can Crobat for 5. They need to find 2 more Toxicroaks off of this Crobat. PokeCom will be 1. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we may be about to see the most insane turn that I've ever witnessed in my life. If they manage to find all 3 of these Toxicroaks, I am going to be gutted. But hey, that's alright. They're dealing 5 poison damage now. They've got a switch. They don't even need the switch, but they're going into the VMAX. That's their attacker. They've got a research as well. Oh my word. If they find the Toxicroak, that is GG. They don't find it. 270 is not going to be enough. Whew. Alright, well, I think we just go on to win now. Right, we just G-Max Bombarded will take the knockout on the active. We actually take 5 prizes this turn, which is pretty gosh darn impressive, if you don't mind me saying. But that was literally the closest we could have been to losing this game. Unbelievable. We take our 3 prizes. There's no in-between turns, so we win the game. Whew, that was a close one. Alrighty, we've got an average start here, but we've at least got something to do. We can get rid of the Dedenne and grab ourselves a Snom. Only 1 Frosmoth in the deck. That is important to note. I think we're just going to have to pass here, and we're playing up against Charizard, so it is the battle of the Gen 1 starters here. You would think that we should have a decent matchup. But it's actually quite interesting. Charizard VMAX is one of the few Pokemon in the game that can actually take a one-shot on our VMAX with things like Vitality Band and Zigzagoon. They could actually get there, so this is not as easy as it seems, and considering the fact that our start is actually pretty bad, if they pop off with like a Volcanion and Energy, they've already welded to the Charizard, then we could find this match quite difficult. We want to get a G-Max Bombard off pretty quickly. We can use Torrential Cannon as well on the Blastoise V, but you know what? We've already done a Blastoise V video. We're doing a Blastoise VMAX video, so let's get the attacks off with that. Just means that it's going to be a little bit more difficult for us to win, because they can obviously knock out 2 of our VMAXs and call it a day. But that's what we want to do. So we're going to try. We're going to try our very, very best. They're going to scoop up, so they've got the Volcanion. Be able to get as many energy onto that Charizard as they want. They've got 2 of them as well. So Flare Starter here, we could see all 3 go to one Charizard. We might see 2 go to one and 1 to the other. We will wait and see what is the option. Looks like we're putting 2, 3, oh no, 2 there. We're splitting some energy, so that's not too bad for us. But it's kind of awkward. Let's get ourselves going here. We can at least grab ourselves the Frosmoth, and I think this is the best card to get. Now, I feel like switching into it is not a bad play here. It's a bit of a gamble, though. If we don't get some energy on our Blastoise this turn, and oh my goodness, we haven't actually done that much, then we could be in trouble. At least if we get the first attack off, Grand Falls, we can take a knockout on the Volcanion and go from there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play down the Blastoise, I'm going to play down the Telescopic Sight, and then I'm just going to Quick Ball for Crobat, or the Dedenne, depending if Crobat's in the deck. Crobat is in the deck, so we'll grab Crobat. But yeah, so I don't really mind if we lose the Frosmoth here, if I can get the Grand Falls attack off. Wow, we are just getting absolutely no energy here. We have been through our entire deck. Wouldn't you believe it? Our entire deck, and we have not found a single energy yet, which is unfortunate. We'll play down the Oranguru, we'll play down the Dedenne. We could have been safe there and gone for the Snom. What is going on? We've only got 1 energy. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. We'll grab the Dedenne. We can put the Dedenne back on top with Primate Wisdom. But that is so unfortunate. There's a second one, but it's still not enough. At least we can Ice Dance onto the Blastoise VMAX. And this may arguably be better for us here. They might choose to knock this Frosmoth out with the Volcanion. Maybe we can find a boss with the Dedenne and knock out one of these Charizards on the bench. But this is unfortunate, and they actually find double VMAX there. Okay, so I can't believe we got down to 25 cards in deck there, and we saw 2 of 10 energy. So either we have a ton of them prized, or we've been very, very unlucky to not get an attack off that turn. Could you imagine if instead of nothing, we had a VMAX with 3 energy in the active, having knocked out the Volcanion, and 3 energy on the VMAX on the V on the bench? Could you imagine our setup then? Man. But we still have type advantage, so it's not over, and all the prizes that we need to take are in play. Right, so if we get given the opportunity, we will be able to do something here. They take their prize, we promote. They have a Dedenne in hand, so I could reset stamp, but I don't know whether it's worth doing. I think I just Dedenne here. I think I just throw these cards down and try and find some energy. 1 energy and a bucket, plus the second VMAX is very good. Unfortunately, though, we've lost our Frosmoth, so we can't use that here. Oh, but the boss is very good. So what we can do now is we can actually boss up this Charizard that only has 1 energy on it, and we can Grand Falls into it. 120 damage, 240 into the active, and then I can put 3 energy from our deck onto our Blastoise. And you might have noticed there was only 4 in deck there, so it sounds to me like there are 3 prized, which is a little bit unfortunate, frankly, but at least we've got 2 powered attackers. And you can see Frosmoth isn't as important in this deck as it is in every other water attacker's deck, because Blastoise VMAX can do the job. It can do enough damage and set up the energy itself. It doesn't really need access to the Frosmoth in some games. I will say this one is looking pretty good for us. They've just high heat blasted into us. I think that's pretty much it. we can grab an energy here. I think we just attach this to the active and GMAX Bombard. We could also research if we want to. We might just quick ball away, do a little bit of thinning. It's always smart to thin. We'll grab this Blastoise. We don't really need that. Let's get rid of it. And then we can rip through our deck. We've got 7 cards remaining. And look at this. We can actually we could actually escape rope here and put some more pressure on. So let's see what our opponent decides to do. What do they choose? I'm glad that escape rope is back. Let's put our VMAX into the active. We can Primate Wisdom the Blast, not the Blastoise, the boss's orders, and then we can. I think we can just Grand Falls here for the knockout. Oh no! Grand Falls shuffles the deck. That was a bad play. Should have held on to the boss there. Okay, well now we're just gonna be. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. It's okay. It's gonna be fine because to win the game, they need to attack with the VMAX, right? So they have to attack with the VMAX. So as long as we have an energy, which we can get, we can GMAX Bombard and take the win that way. But that was a bit of an error. Should have made sure that I didn't put the boss on top there. Should have put literally anything else. It would have been better than what I ended up doing. We at least have a water energy off of the prizes, but we know that there's still 2 more in there. We actually got quite unlucky to only get 1. But as long as we have that water, we should be fine. We still have Air Balloon and Switch. So even if a boss happens here, we'll have an option to try and get there. It looks like our opponent foregoing the triple colorless attachment to the VMAX there. Seems a little bit odd. That would have been my go-to choice. Maybe they're just hoping that I don't have the boss. Well, frankly, I don't have it because I made a terrible error. Which, you know, better players than I wouldn't do that. And you can watch better players on Players Cup 3 on Saturday. Incidentally, I'm playing in that. I managed to actually make top 16. And you wouldn't know it playing like this, but it turns out that when I'm not recording YouTube videos, I'm actually pretty decent at the game. Very weird one, I know. Pokemon communication here is going to shuffle some Pokemon back into the deck. I'm not too worried about what they do. It's more about whether I get the VMAX attacking next turn for the game, whether I have to wait a little bit. Oh, Heatran. Okay, fair enough. Whilst they're setting themselves up here, oh my god, actually, if they have boss, they could actually knock me out and put me in a position where maybe I do lose if I don't find boss. Goodness, that's no good, because what they could do is they could switch, attach an energy. If they have boss, they'll be able to knock this VMAX on the bench out, and they need 250. It's gonna be close. They could actually do it here. There's a switch, so they can do it. I was about to start plugging memberships, and here I am about to potentially lose to a bad match, to a good matchup. Good grief. Anyway, plugging memberships, because I don't do it as often as I really should. Thank you very much to all of my channel members so far. If you are a channel member, every time you comment, make sure you use those emotes, right? Show off those emojis. I've added 2 new ones today. We've got Yugi holding a Pokemon card, Fast Believing in the Heart of the Cards, and Crushing Hammer, which is obviously a very popular card in Standard at the moment. And there are more on the way, so make sure you keep abreast of that. There's the boss. So they do have the boss. Do they have the extra energy? I presume that they do. Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Maybe? Maybe? Taking some time, thinking about it. Thinking about it. Dude, if you have the energy, attach it. Hot Burn GX, knock me out. You have Giant Hearth in play. You surely have it. We just stalling each other out. Our opponent's taking. I'm just looking at their time. There's the energy. They're waiting for their countdown to go. They're just sitting there doing their bit for society. Taking 3 prizes there. All right. As much as I hate to say it, our opponent could be on a trajectory to victory here. I mean, I have a 2 in 5 chance of drawing into boss to win the game. That Telescopic Sight's pretty solid. I could use that. Let's discard this Marnie. Don't really want that. There's that boss. We've got a 1 in 4 now. 1 in 4 chance with the Primate Wisdom to get that boss. So let's just attach all of our bits and bobs, and then I guess we just Primate Wisdom. And if we get it, we get it. We don't. Okay. Well, I mean, we're going to remove all of their energy from play. Now, though, they do have a chance. As silly as it sounds, because of my terrible misplay, they have a chance to win this game. We take the knockout. They need Welder, double energy, triple acceleration, Zigzagoon, Scoop Up Net slash... what do you call it? The band. Or they could get double energy, so they could get Welder, double energy, triple acceleration, Great Catcher. That could be an out to knock out the Dedenne on the bench. They can't knock out the Dedenne with Claw Slash. So that's not an option for them. I think there's enough cards that they cannot get here that I feel like we're in a good spot. It's so tough to deal 230, but like I said, Charizard VMAX is one of the few Pokemon that could actually do it. So we'll see here if Zetable manages to do it. At the moment, though, I feel like, oh, just a boss, okay. Boss's orders, so they'll be bossing up the Dedenne, trying to stall us out. We have Air Balloon, Switch, and Energy, which is all good. If they reset Stamp us, that would be unfortunate. And they're just going to Dedenne here, so not a lot to do for them. I feel like we are about to win this game. I feel like there's either going to be a concession or a pass very quickly here. Giant Hearth finds one energy out of the deck. Is there a Welder? Is there anything to do here? Charizard V going back into the deck. Is this an Eldegoss? An Eldegoss for a Welder, perhaps? Maybe. It's not looking good, though. The Eldegoss hasn't been played very quickly. We're just sitting waiting. Also, my hair's kind of a little bit weird today. I feel like it's just getting a little bit too long. The next time you see me, I might have a haircut. We'll see how that goes. Is that something that you want to hear about? I don't know. They've just attached an energy. What are they doing? Conceding. Fair enough. That makes sense. So there you have it. Blastoise VMAX, incredibly powerful. Pokemon are going to have to stop releasing good products because it's starting to take a bit of a hit on the wallet. Thank you very much, though, to the members who are helping put some of that money back in. Dadbod and Azazel especially, thank you very much to you guys. Plus, Fernando, Yolo, Diego, Stephen, and Agent Abel, appreciate your generous support. I have to apologise. Victor, I'm so sorry. Your name got cut off of the slide last time. Victor, thank you very much. Connor, Dario, Tom Cove, Sparksy, Kabakazi, Josiah, Austin, Stephanie, Charbunga, Sam, Captain, and a Fairy. Appreciate your commitment to the channel. I appreciate your financial commitment. It's really, really good. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming along. I'm just waffling now. I will stop because otherwise this video will go too long and it will be bad. So thank you very much. I'll see you next time. More from the Sableyes. I went for the wrongs. What is going on?